Hello and welcome to Radio Plymouth. We're doing a bit of sport, and with Jack today, you can just go and have a look at Jack now. Say hello to the camera, Jack.
Hello.
And also on the wide angle over there as well. So, Jack, in terms of sport, this weekend, what do you want to start with? I mean, a disappointing night for our basketballers and the Raiders. We may as well start with them.
Yeah, not too good. Losing 85-73 to Leicester Riders. It was a second leg, of course, of their playoff semi-final, which they lost the first round as well by a 2-point deficit, so they had to make that up anyway to try and win the game. They did it in the quarterfinals against London Lions. I think it was a 6-point deficit they overcame, so that was good to see. And Coach James is going to be happy with the way that they have gone this season. It's the first time since 2012 that they have made the playoff semi-finals.
And it's been a good season for them, hasn't it? Really, it's been fairly indifferent in terms of results, but I think they can be happy with a playoff spot.
Yeah, they did finish 8th in the league, so they just made that playoff spot. And to beat the London Lions, who finished in the top 4, that's a great achievement for the club, really, as well, just to go and do that. But I think, moving into the forward thinking of Raiders now is to be pushing for the higher places in the league to have a better chance in the playoffs.
In terms of the football, Argyle still managerless, and are we seeing any names being thrown into the hat now? I know when it first broke that Derek Adams had been sacked, is that Ian Holloway was obviously the fans' favourite, but that sort of seems to have died down a little bit now.
I think he is still the fans' favourite. Any Argyle fan you speak to loves Ian Holloway just because of what he did for the club when he was here. Pushing for playoffs in the Championship is something that anybody wants in the Championship, of course. That's what you want to do. You want to get promoted to the Premier League, don't you? And Ian Holloway was there or thereabouts with Argyle, but Argyle became a selling club at the time and thought about finances over the chance to play in the Premier League and ended up shifting out all of their players. One of them, of course, Ebanks Blake, when he went to Wolves.
Well, I've got a lot of time for that, obviously, as a Wolves fan. So, I think he got about 50 goals in the 2 seasons, which is a phenomenal return. But obviously, for a club like Plymouth to lose such a talent like that, having brought him on from Manchester United, was a shame at the time, unless, of course, you're a Wolves fan. Any people in the frame to take over the job so far? You've got any idea of who that might be?
Well, yeah, it's been reported that Bury's current manager, Ryan Lowe, has been...
see him on the screen now.
Is he up? Is he there?
He has got good hair as well.
But yeah, so he's apparently had an interview at Argyle following Bury having no money at all and haven't paid him for the last few months, from what sources are saying. And considering they got promoted, it just shows how good of a job he's done. Fun fact for you as well, him and Derek Adams both have exactly the same win percentage as managers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they could just slot straight in. And what do you think? What are your thoughts of that actually happening potentially?
It would be good, I think. He's young, he's only 40, and forward-thinking manager. He's just come out of playing, so his mentality will be the style of the better ways to play football now, per se. And Argyle, I think, with what's come out with the retention list as well about bringing through youth, you need a manager that will happily play their youthful players. And for example, Mike Cooper, the goalkeeper, is 21 years old, and it's an opportunity now for players like him, especially with a younger manager coming in. They're going to put the focus on these players. And
of that retained list, Freddie Ladapo, who's on the screen now, is under contract at Home Park for next season, but I guess we'll wait and see what happens with that one, because just because he's under contract doesn't mean that he won't leave.
Exactly, but I think as Argyle have been for the last few seasons, you have a decent player, someone comes in with a half-decent bid, and you end up selling them. Yeah. And Ladapo, 19 goals this season, is an astounding achievement for a relegated player. Incredible, I think it must be said.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at what else you want to talk about. Is there anything else that you want to add on to that in terms of sport, or is that about it covered?
Well, I suppose you could look at the players that are not under contract, have been offered contracts, are yet to accept or decline, one of those being Graham Carey. Yeah. Of course, Graham Carey is a fan favourite. We all know the song, We've Got Graham Carey. You can hear it from Home Park as you walk past it on a Saturday afternoon. And last 2 seasons has been player of the season. People have said that he kind of dropped off the pace after the whole country really serenading him for the goals he scores. And he won goal of the month umpteen times over the last few seasons and has proven himself as what a lot of people say better than League One anyway. There was speculation, I think it was last season before, that Watford were interested in him.
Okay.
And not that I don't think it ever broke to the media as such, but it's been said in and around that Watford were interested in him. And for a club of that sort of stature to be looking at a League One player is pretty astounding, really. And it's been said as well that Coventry are looking at him. Coventry, League One club. Again, another club with money problems, but with the stadium and obviously all the issues they've had there with the Rico. And yeah, for me, as an Argyle fan, you don't want to see him go. Everybody loves him, that sweet left foot that he's got. But yeah, for him as a player, maybe it's time for him to move on. And Derek Adams brought him into the club. Does that mean he's going to leave with Derek Adams?
It's very true. It almost kicks off that managerial roundabout, doesn't it, of people coming in, leaving. That everyone has players that they love and take with them to various clubs, and this could be no different. So that is your update for your sports. I've been Sam Cook, and over there, Jack. Say goodbye, Jack.
Goodbye.
And we'll see you next week.